y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, hi, my name is Alyssa, and for today's video, we are going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm going to be doing a decade video in which I'm going to be recapping the last decade of my life. Amanda Rose tagged me to do this video and her video was absolutely amazing. So I'm going to be linking that video and her channel down below. Please go check her out if you haven't already. And if you're not subscribed to her, then what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button. But yeah, you guys, her video was absolutely amazing. And when I realized she tagged me to do this video, I was so excited because my vlog videos are my favorite videos on my channel. It is so much fun to get to watch those back and just see how much fun I was having and who I was with. And this video is going to pretty much be the same kind of a thing except 10 years of my life, which is going to be so fun. So before we jump into the video, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you do enjoy it, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I upload new videos every Tuesday and Friday, and I would love it if you joined my fam. You can also hit the notification bell to be notified every time I upload a brand new video, and you can also follow your girl on Instagram at Alyssa and Pope. And without further ado, let's just go ahead and get started. Okay, you guys, so I sat over to the side so I can throw pictures up on the screen here for you. I'm hoping not to make this super long, so we're just going to dive in. Amanda started her video in 2010, so I am going to do the same. So in 2010, I am 14 going on 15, and I am a sophomore in high school. It is so hard for me to wrap my mind around that. I am literally like prepubescent. Honestly, I was just trying to make it. I wasn't a big fan of high school. That wasn't like my most favorite time in the world. So I was just kind of cruising on by. 2011 rolls around and I am now a junior in high school. The biggest thing that happened in the very beginning of that year was me and my best friend Cassandra had what we like to call our epic sleepover. This has been a sleepover that we have actually still talked about to this day, and we did try and recreate it a couple times in the past and nothing could ever top it. It probably isn't anything special to anybody outside of the two of us, but we had the absolute best time that weekend. So in 2011, I turned 16, obviously, and this was the last big birthday party that I had. This was the best birthday party I have ever had up until now. It was absolutely amazing. I held it at my dance studio, and it was a masquerade party. And when I say literally everyone that I invited came and everyone participated. People dressed up, we all wore masks. You know, we just danced and had an absolutely amazing time, and that birthday party was hands down the best one that I ever had. I honestly haven't had birthday parties since then. I kind of decided that like my 16th birthday party was going to be the last one. The last really big thing that went down in 2011 was my prom. I went to 2 proms that year, obviously mine and then with the guy that I was seeing at the time, so I was pretty much prommed out. After that, I did not go my senior year, but it was super fun, and yeah, looking back on those pictures, it is something else. Casey and Cassandra, y'all know. Okay, you guys, so 2012, I am now a senior in high school. I am 16 going on 17. I'm very young compared to my peers. And this was the year that I auditioned to be in ensemble, so the honor choir class. So that meant I get honors credit for being in this class. We did so many fun things that year, but my 2 favorites where we did caroling around Christmas time downtown at the Cotton Exchange, and we also got to sing the national anthem at a Braves game in Atlanta. So 2012 was also the very first year that my sister Lauren and my cousin Taylor and I did our very first trio. We danced to Nicki Minaj's Where Them Girls At. It was super fun, and obviously at the end of 2012 I graduated high school, you guys. Hallelujah. We put that chapter of our life behind us. We were moving up and on to bigger and better things. And yeah, I had no worries about me graduating high school. It just was what it was. And I remember I got these really beautiful blue shoes that I wore with my blue cap and gown. And what can I say, you guys? A fashionista even in my youth. Okay, so jumping into 2013, the first big thing that really stood out to me was me, my sister, my mom, my cousin Taylor, and my aunt went and saw Kesha. crazy. We had the best time dressing up and doing all of our makeup, and we were in the pit, which was absolutely amazing. We were so close, and Kesha did such a phenomenal job, and we just got to have an amazing time. The next concert I actually went to that year was I went and saw Pink with my best friend Cassandra. This was actually her first concert ever, and I do not have any video footage of that just because we were way too in the moment, but that was such a fun time. We really do love Pink and love her music, and it was so great to have that time to like go together. And we had awesome seats because she like trapezed at one point, literally out right in front of her face to like a podium. It was the coolest thing ever. And then the next and last concert I saw that year was actually Taylor Swift's Red Tour. I actually bought those tickets for my sister and my cousin Taylor for Christmas. They had no idea, and I bought them myself. And Taylor Swift always puts on a phenomenal show in my opinion, so it was just really great to spend that time with them and then get to see Taylor Swift again, because I had seen her a couple more times with my family just outside of this decade that I'm allowed to talk about, so you know. So jumping into 2014, I took my sister to go see Miley Cyrus in concert. This concert, you guys, was so dope. It was in that stage in which Miley Cyrus was a little crazy and out there, but let me tell you guys, she put on a show. And then in 2014, on August 9th, my godson Gage is born. So this would actually also be the last time Lauren, Taylor, and I got to dance together in this way. We did take, I think, a year or two off in between the very first trio we did, and we decided my last year of dance we would finish out strong with one. And this was, I want to say, and I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure we were the top performing dance that year. We crushed it, you guys. We danced to Girls, Girls, Girls by Motley Crue at my dad's suggestion, and it was the most amazing dance. Jumping into 2015, Cassandra and I are back at it again, and this time we went and saw Iliza Shlesinger. She is a comedian and she is absolutely hilarious. This was before she got super, super big, so we went and saw her at like a really intimate comedy club up in Charlotte. It was fantastic. We literally sat at a table right in front of the stage. She could have touched my double chin, but she did it to the lady next to us. It was so hilarious, and we actually got to meet her, which was the highlight of that evening. Next thing that happened in 2015 is going to go down as the best concert I've ever been to. I again surprised my sister with tickets to go see Taylor Swift's 1989 tour. Most amazing concert ever, and this primarily falls on the fact that not only is Taylor Swift an amazing performance and an artist, but we actually were handpicked by her mother to meet Taylor Swift after the show. It was such a surreal moment, you guys. When her mom walked up to us and was like, "You guys look like you're having so much fun, and you know, we are so happy that you are here." Me and my sister are standing there like, "Do you know who you are?" And she literally was like, you know, "Have you ever met Taylor?" And we were like, "No, we're some poor kids, like what?" And she's like, "Would you like to?" And I swear to God, you guys, we were like, yes. And they hand us tickets to be able to come and hang out in the 1989 lounge after the show. We got to take pictures with Taylor and talk to her, and there was pizza and a photo booth, and it was just, it was surreal. We did not expect that to happen. It's something that they do at every show. They just kind of handpick people out of the crowd. And her mom told us that she had come up to us because we were just singing and dancing and having the absolute best time, and that's a memory I literally will never forget, you guys. It was the craziest thing that ever happened to me, and nobody believed us at first until we posted pictures. It was absolutely insane. Moving on later into the year, in October, it is now my birthday again. It is my 21st birthday, and we take our first family trip to Disney World after 10 years. So we went when I was very little, when I was 10, obviously, or 11, and we decided that we were going to do something for my 21st, and I wanted to go to Disney, so we made it a family vacation. This was probably one of the best trips to Disney that we have ever taken as a group. The four of us, my mom, my dad, my sister, and myself. It was just amazing. Disney is one of my favorite places. You guys know this, and we had the absolute best time. And to be able to have my first legal drink in Disney was so much fun and just an experience I will never ever forget. It was fantastic. So 2016 comes around, and Cassandra and I start this year off with a bang again. It is January, and we take our first ever cruise to the Bahamas. This was our first cruise for either one of us, and we had decided probably 4 months prior that we were like, hey, we just want to go on a cruise. And so we did. It was so much fun. We sailed out of Charleston. I think it was like 5 days. And we stopped in Nassau and Freeport, and we just had the most amazing time. That last December, we had gotten each other a bunch of gifts to like go along with our cruises. For example, we bought each other onesies, animal onesies, and we actually wore these around on the boat into a comedy show. And so we were a big hit, especially Cassandra, because she's so tall. I got her a giraffe onesie. Everyone thought that was genius, which I mean, it is. Coming on later, we actually end up going on another trip together, Cassandra and I, this time with her mom as well. We end up going to New York City, and this was my first trip ever to New York, and it is what made me fall in love with New York. We had the best time. It was for an entire week, and we did everything, you guys. We did shopping. We stayed in Times Square. Literally, we were right there in the middle of everything. We did all sorts of sightseeing, you guys. So we did the Statue of Liberty, we did the 9/11 Memorial, we did the Empire State Building, Rockefeller Center, you name it, and we did it. And we also actually got to see 3 different Broadway shows, which was such an amazing opportunity. I couldn't have asked for a better trip to New York. We did so many different things. We tried so many different bars and lounges, and we tested out so much. We did a lot of hood rat things that I'm not going to tell you guys about because that's just going to stay between those that were on the trip. One of the funnest things we did do that we still talk about this day that we laugh, we drank a lot of limoncello on this trip, you guys. And we ended up going into this bakery in Little Italy that Yvonne, Cassandra's mom, wanted to go to. And we're in there, we're having a great time, we're eating sweets, and we're having like limoncello spritzers, and there's this little wedding cake that she keeps looking at, and she's like, all of a sudden she like gets up and she's like, I'm gonna go buy that wedding cake. And so she does, and we like devour this poor little tiny wedding cake. I'm not kidding, it was like this small, but like a 3-layer legit wedding cake. You guys, we hung out there so long and got a little too tipsy that when we walked out, we started walking, and next thing you know, we have no idea how it happened, but we ended up in Chinatown. My second little god baby, Emmy, is born. This is Gage's sister, and again, I was able to be there for the birth. So then November rolls around, and my sister and my Nana and my granddaddy and I all go up to the mountains for a trip. We stayed with my Uncle Tim, and we walked around like Pigeon Forge, and we went to Dollywood, and we just had an absolutely amazing time. Went to an apple orchard. Girl, I don't know, I can't speak English. We went, it was just great, you guys. Like, it was such a fun time too to get to spend just that time with my grandparents as well. Last but not least, you guys, wrapping out 2016, your girl graduates college. I graduated in 4.5 years, so I graduated in December of 2016, and y'all, hallelujah, hallelujah. It was so great, and probably the funnest thing about graduating is I actually got invited out with my friend Alex and some of her friends who are now still actually friends of mine. We decided to go out that night. Oh, Lord child, we got rowdy. So I am not one that goes out clubbing a lot, but we did, and I did, and it was such a fun time, you guys. It was a good way to end out my college career, let me just tell you that. All right, you guys, so rolling into 2017, I start the year out again with a cruise. This time it is with my grandma, and it was her very first and very last cruise. We do what I think was an Eastern Caribbean cruise. Again, it is Carnival Cruise. The airline sent our luggage to a totally different airport, and they were like, oh, we'll get it to you on the boat, no problem. You guys, we were on the boat probably less than 10 minutes before that boat started pulling away from the dock. We barely made it by the skin on our teeth, and we didn't have our luggage for an entire 7 days. Everybody knew who we were on the boat because we were the people that had no luggage, so we looked the same every single day. But it was still a fun time. We did have nice weather. The one thing we do kind of get bummed about, we missed out on, we were supposed to dock in Grand Turk, and the wind was too high that day, so we're all like on the railing of the boat watching as we like pull into dock with the most insane water I have literally ever seen up until this point in my life. And they come on the announcement, they start turning the boat away, and they're like, yeah, we can't dock, winds are too high. And literally everyone lost their minds. Not me and my grandma, because we were like, what else can go wrong? You know, we were just like, bartender, another beverage. So then we roll around into April of 2017, and you guys, this is where I post my very first YouTube video. I will link it up here if you choose to watch it. Don't mind me of how uncomfortable I sound and look, but I did a festival makeup look. It was so fun, it was so different, and that was the starting point of me just being like, Alyssa, do something for you, do something and stick to it. I love that I decided to pick up a camera for reals and start, and a huge shout out to my mom and dad, because I know many people start off on their phones. My mom and dad were so supportive and still are, that they bought me this camera that I do film on, and you know, they help me set up my room, and they're always quiet when I film, and you know, they do all this stuff for me so I can try and make my channel the best that it can be. This was the first year that I got my heart broken. It was a rough time for me, you guys. I'm not going to talk really much about him or it, but I had it bad for this dude, and he decided to go into the military, the Navy, and yeah, we were just not meant to work out, and it was the hardest thing that I've ever been through. I didn't know that I could hurt that bad, but at the same time, it was really good for me. Again, I feel like every difficult thing that you go through in life is meant to prepare you for other stuff. So I don't want to get upset. Lord, sis, we don't cry over men, okay? Moving into October, my third god baby, Emma, is born, and this is Cassandra and Jordan's first daughter. And then after Emma is born, I actually get to take another trip with my friend Amy. I have vlogs on all these trips, you guys, which I will link down below. But we did this for like part of my birthday around October, and we called it Trip and Treat with Alyssa and Amy, and we did so much, you guys. She lives in Connecticut, so I flew out there. I stayed with her for a week, and we did New York again. We did Rhode Island, we did all sorts of like little locations around that area, and it was so much fun, you guys. In New York, we actually went to the Bite Beauty Lip Lab, and I think I've talked about this on my channel before, but we made our own lipsticks. I highly, 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 highly recommend that experience. Rounding out 2017, we go to Disney World again. So this time it is my mom, my dad, my sister, myself, and we take my grandma. This is again her first trip to Disney, so 2017 was a lot of firsts for my grandma. It actually got really cold in Disney, which we weren't expecting. They had like an unexpected cold spell, so we ended up literally having to like buy jackets and like wear the same thing over and over again pretty much because it was freezing, but we had the best time. You can never be upset in the happiest place on earth. I will say my grandma is a badass, y'all. She got on every ride at least once. She did get on Tower of Terror, Space Mountain. She did it. Did she ride it again after that? No, but she did it for the first time, which was so much fun. 2018 in October is actually Courtney and Charlie's wedding, which was such a fun time. It was such a wonderful wedding and reception, and again, I'm very honored that they allowed me to be a part of this with them. Okay, so finishing out 2018, the best thing that happened as well was the trip my dad and I took. We did a little dad and daughter trip to Disney World. They ended up buying us matching shirts for every day of the trip. We were so cool. It was absolutely phenomenal. We ended up also buying tickets to the Not So Scary Halloween party while we were there. We decided we want to do that, so I bought those for us to get to enjoy that, and that was so cool. The Booty You parade was absolutely amazing. I do have vlogs of all this stuff that I'm talking about, so I will link it down below for you guys so you can watch. But it was amazing, you guys. We had the best time, and honestly, my dad is my best friend, so getting to experience Disney, him and I, was absolutely amazing, and hands down probably my favorite Disney trip that I've ever been on thus far. Alright, so rounding it out, 2019, you guys. 2019 was a busy year for me, but I'm going to run through it really quick. About 3 weeks after I started the job, we have Courtney's bachelorette party. And I know what you guys are saying. What? You had the wedding October, had the bachelorette party? Well, you guys, we got like rained out by Hurricane Florence? I think it was Florence. So we ended up having to do her bachelorette party later and reschedule it. We ended up going to Charleston. Then in April of 2019, my mom, my dad, and my sister and I went and saw Kiss in concert. Literally 6 days after we went and saw Kiss, I take my mom and my grandma to go see Kenny Chesney in concert. May 9th, so literally just 4 days after my sister and I saw Eliza, my friend Alex and I go on our cruise, which I do have vlogs of, so I will put a card and link them down below. But this, you guys, by far was the best cruise I have ever been on. Now, don't get me wrong, that doesn't mean all the other ones weren't fun and great, but this one, you guys, fantastic weather. I mean, just great all the way around. Food was always on, drinks were always on, weather was phenomenal. Alex and I just had the best time hanging out. Our excursions were just exceptional. We ended up doing a day in Atlantis at the water park, which was fun, and we did bike ride tour around Half Moon Cay, which I highly recommend. If you do ever get the opportunity to go on a cruise that stops at Half Moon Cay, that is Carnival Cruises' private island. It is the most beautiful thing that I have ever seen. It is so fun and so gorgeous, and to get to spend like that beach day is unlike any other beach day I've ever done on a cruise. So then in August comes camping, and I haven't mentioned this before then, but we go camping every year in August. I will throw up pictures from different times that we've gone, but this one was super fun because I got to take the full week off of work. It was actually me and just my grandma for the first few days of it, which was really fun because we just kind of got to hang out. My grandma and I love camping. We love just sitting on the beach, hanging out, doing nothing, and so it was great just to spend that one-on-one time with my grandma. And then my mom and dad did come down, and my sister did, and actually Cassandra, Jordan, and Emma came down as well. It was really fun to see it come full circle and have Emma come too, because, you know, me and her mom used to go do this all the time, so allowing Emma and Jordan as well to come see what it was all about and hang out, it was a really fun time. And then October comes around, and Casey and I decide to take a trip with the kids to Raleigh. But we went to the Children's Museum, and we went out to lunch and dinner and swam in the hotel pool. It was really fun because Casey and I haven't gotten to take many trips in a very long time because she does have 2 young children. And then roll around and little Aria is born. And then in November, which I have a vlog up, many of you guys have seen, but Alex and I go see Ariana Grande. We decided randomly that we were just gonna go, and so go we did. If you guys haven't picked up from this whole video that I like to do things on a whim. I get it in my mind and then I do it. I don't like to wait. Waiting aggravates me. But that is it. That wraps up the last 10 years of my life. Holy cow, what a whirlwind. But it was so much fun to do this video, guys. So much fun to look back on everything that I have been through and that I have done. I highly recommend that you guys do this for yourself. I'm not gonna like tag anyone in particular just because I don't want anyone to feel obligated. This video did take a lot of work. It was very time consuming, so please give it a thumbs up for all the work I put into it. But I don't want anyone to feel like you have to do it just because it did take me a lot of time. But I definitely think it is so worth it because you're going to be able to look back on this for yourself and have like a little time lapse of everything that you've done for the past 10 years, which is very exciting. So thank you so much for sticking through this with me, you guys. If you were still here, you're the real MVP, you're the real ones. I really hope that you did enjoy this video, and if you did, you know the drill. Give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!